Okay, so here are the buttons that I chose. Why did I choose this? So this is going to be the closest to the front here, and I chose that because of the blue of the cat. I chose this because of the orange of the bunny. I chose the green. First of all, it's a heart, and then there's the green there. And then I ummed and ahned about using this. This is quite a thicker button, but I love it because it's the only pinky or red thing that I have, and it picks up her pink dress beautifully. Otherwise, I was going to go with white. So I've got that as a backup. And then on the inside here, I chose these two hearts, and then a heart bead, and this yellow one. There's a little bit of yellow on the bird, and then I repeated those colors. So orange, a little bit of a flower in green, a little bit of orange, which picks up the orange from the bunnies. And I thought that this was really pretty. I'm not sure if you can see the design. Oh gosh, yeah, the design on that's really pretty. So I thought it looked good. I might pull it out and replace it with the white one. Might be a bit too sort of like vintagey, more grown up, not for a child's book. So there we go. There we go, out with that one, although I love that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wax my thread, and we're going to need 3 threads because there are 3 signatures. Now this is how I measure how much I need, and I try to minimize wastage, although I do always end up cutting more than I need. I always think I need more thread to go through the buttons, but I actually really don't. So I'm just trying to find the end here, trying to keep it as tangle free as possible. So we're going to go in from the middle. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm going to have a little bit of a thread. I always just give myself that much. Okay, so I'm going to go in from the middle to the top, from the top down to the middle, then down to the bottom, then up to the middle again. And I want to match, give myself that much. Okay, so that's how much I need. And you know what? I always think that that's, you know, too little, but it ends up being too much, believe it or not. Then what I do is I wax my thread, and we have a bee factory, a honey factory in the Swan Valley where I live, and I like pick these wax blocks, 50 cents each. So I just run my thread through there, and it waxes it, and it just keeps it from fraying, and I don't know. I love that. You can thread your needle easy, and okay, so there is one. And then once you've got the first one measured, you just measure it against the other 2. So go up and then down, and then cut there, and then cut this one in half. Okay, so let's wax the other 2. Okay, so we'll just move those to the side because they're done. So they feel really nice and stiff and waxy. So each one goes to its signature. Okay, I'm going to use, I've just got this really large upholstery needle, and we're just gonna thread that. But I mean, with an eye like that, I've got to be pretty blind to not get that. Alright, so we got to make sure we don't disturb this configuration. And I always start from the back. So just double checking here. This is my middle. This is, okay. So let's move this to the side. Here we go. Here we go. know. You see what I mean? It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. 1, 2, 3. But I sort of remember how I had it. 2, 3. Crazy, yeah? Okay, we'll try. Alright, so keep your pages together. This guy is the one that's just loose, so I'm going to start with him first. Okay, so I'm going to find his middle. Now I also always have just a little bit of washi on hand, and I tape my tail so that I don't get too excited and pull it all the way through. So I tape my tail right there. Okay, so first one is in, then I go through the middle of all these guys, then I go through the end hole, and at this stage what I do, I just sort of make sure that, you know, we're talking good business here. So yeah, that's good. Alright, so we're going to start at the back. So remember I said I wanted this to be at the front, so we start at the back, which is here. Now, you can choose whichever, so I'm going to choose this one here. Okie dokes. So first button goes through. Okay, so you pull, 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 and because you were proactive, the sticker holds, right? Come through the second, hold on your button. Okay, now we're ready for the other button, so let's pull this button through. So 1, oopsies, 1, okay, 2. Now, if you want your buttons to move, and I do love them moving, so I've chosen 2 hole buttons, all the way through, except for this guy is a 4 hole. So with the 4 hole buttons, they actually stay in place. But for the 2 hole buttons, you can play with them and have that interactive feature. If you actually don't want to do that, go through now, double knot it wherever you want, so choose the location. So say you definitely want it here, because like the next button over is going to be a big fat mama that's going to take the whole spine. So you can choose to double, so go through now and go through, and that baby is locked in that position. It doesn't really matter, because if there's a big button that you're going to use here, just, you know, slide this guy down and let this guy have a big one. So I love, and you don't know how much love there is until you're actually sitting there playing with the buttons on that spine. So I really encourage you to make one of these, because it's so much fun having a button spine on your altered book. Okay, so be careful here, because we're still not kind of bound very well. So make sure, I don't know why I let go, just to play with the buttons. So you're holding, you're coming through, gosh, I hope I'm showing this, okay? You're going to find your hole, and because you're holding here, they're all going to be together. And sometimes when they're not, it's okay to separate the pages to see where the holes are. Most of the time they will be together. So I sometimes do separate them, you know, actually I think I do, because that's what I'm doing right now. I don't want to put any unnecessary holes. Okay, here we go, we're through, we are through, and we're through. There's your button, okay. At this stage, this is still quite floppy, so don't let go, okay. So we're up through here. Now we're going to go back. Now I obviously, I've never filmed myself doing this, so there is a lot of this, okay? And there's a lot of this to my face too. I'm trying not to do that, and I'm trying not to bring my head into the camera. So please pardon how awkward this looks, and I'm just so paranoid that I'm going to go off camera too. Okay, so we're now going to go back in. So I just want to make sure we're in. So I'm in through, okay, I'll show you. I'm in through here, and I'm just going in through the hole. It should come out on this side. Now, this is where you make the choice whether you want to secure this in this location. If you don't and you want them both to run up and down, just come out and keep going like I have here. If you want to secure this button into that center position, bring it through and hold it there. Once you've done that, this button will not move. This will be the only one that moves. So I'm gonna do that because see this little guy which is gonna be in the middle? He can either stay up here or come down here. So I'm gonna secure this in this position, come out, and once you've done this, come on, this starts holding in place, and so it becomes really easy for you to now put the needle through the rest of the holes. So sort of shifted a bit. Okay, so the next one is this one. Next one is this one. So we come in through the hole, through the hole. Okay, we're good. And then last one, so you're always having the pretty side up and you're going from the inside, pretty side up, and then down through your hole. Okay, so I'm going to just come in through the spine first. We're clear. Then I'm going to locate my hole. And I am going to separate the pages. I think I do separate the pages just to look and make sure I go through the existing hole that I've made and not make any new ones. I think that is the sensible thing to do, but see, it's kind of trained. And then never made a hole through this. So this one catches just the bottom hole here. Okie doke, so this is where we're at here. And this is where we're at here. So at this stage, you are allowed to take the washi off. And we're going to use the washi for the next signature, so we do that. What I do is I come around here, okay, and then I come around one more time. And then so that I am straddling. So I've got one thread on this side, one thread on this side, and I'm straddling the center. I take my needle off and I do this. Okay, and sometimes they're not the same. So then what I do is I make them even, and there we go. So I've done one knot there. You can do a double knot if you like. You can do a little ribbon if you like. I actually don't like doing a ribbon, so I'm not going to leave it like that. So I'm happy with that. We can now take this off, and that's my first one done. Oh, let me also remind you to please be careful not to sew your pages upside down. So make sure that the book is like this way and that the pages are also this way. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and do the second one. I think I should do the second one and the first one with you as well, just because I think this is quite hard. So if you see it 3 times, you'll be like, yeah, that's so easy, I can do this. Or if you think that you've seen enough, forward me on. Just press that. Just press that. Have you guys found the playback speed I've recently discovered it. It's amazing. It just, if you put people at 1.5, things just come along a little bit better, like quicker, and you can still understand and still follow. So I think I speak quite slowly when I'm showing things, which, you know, understandable. Okay, so here we go, taped. I've gone through all pages, really good. I am about to go through my, can you see the needle? Okay, and we're about to go through the middle, and actually before I do that, we are gonna make sure that my pages are right side. They are, okay, and that my book is the right, yes, all good. Okie dokes, so now we're coming up to this area here. So, as you can see, this button is quite a big mama. I'm gonna choose this one. Okay, go through this one, and then come straight down. And I'm going to move it, so when I come out next time, I'm not going to come out through the button, I'm going to move him just here. Alright, so he stays in that upper quadrant. And then my next button is going to be the pinky. Let's see how pinky looks. And I also want to just see how pinky feels, because pinky is raised. And do I like raised? This is the question. It's really raised, and I don't know if I like it. Do I like it? It's not like a flat button. It's a bit of a raised button, and I'm dying to use pink. So do I mind? Do I mind the fact that it's quite raised? No, I am not going to mind, okay? I'm pretty happy with that, okay. So let's continue on. So I made that decision now, can't go back. So we're going to continue on. Gosh, can we come in a little bit closer? Okay, so you see how it's raised? And then you will be able to move this up and down. Gosh, what's happening here? Okay. Okay, so pinky's going there. And then I'm going to go in through the hole. And on the inside here, I see that the needle is out. And I'm going to gently find my hole there. How are we going? Yep. 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 Yeah, that's really good. Okay, here we go. Okay, flip it over. Let's come out of it. Okay, so back into the middle. There we go. Okay, so I've come out here and I've decided that I'm not going to go through this button because there's just no room for these two to be side by side, especially when there's a third button here on that first spine. So I'm now just going to leave, I'm going to leave that one as is. We come out. Okay, I've decided that we're going to have a pretty little heart bead. Now these heart beads are gorgeous, but I have to really struggle to pull them through. Like when I first did this, I was like, oh, I'm gonna shatter the bead, but I've done it 4 times now, and I know that it eventually comes through, so you're just gonna have to watch me struggle. Okay. All right, handy dandy tool. All right, so it's come through. Okay. And then we're going to put this little guy in. Now, so I've just noticed that this might not be a good button. the buttons here, like so. See the side, see the holes on this button. See how they're up and down? These buttons are side to side, so once we move that, we're going to change that button. It's going to change the way that that button sits. So we are going to have to not use this button. So 1, 2. So I've got to quickly try to find another button to go. So this red button, we're going to do 1, 2. And I'm going to make it so that it stops. Okay, so I'm just now, you're going to have to start thinking, come in just a little bit closer. You're now going to start to start thinking about where the next buttons are going to go. Okay, so I know that I want this big button here. So I know that I need to secure this button somewhere around this area. Okay, so if I did that, and then we did that, this button can come sort of around this area. I should have put that button in the middle, you know. Actually, you know, we could still put this button here. I actually might do that. Okay, so we might just do that. That's a good idea. So you have to start thinking about the next line. So if that goes there, and then I really don't like that button at all. So I need a white button here. So if we put this button here, that's perfect. Gosh, they look gorgeous. So, you know what? This button can come up, this can come down, like that. Yeah, I definitely need a white button here. So we gotta take that guy out. Yep, that looks like a nice. So you can do like a clearish white, but I like a really white, really bright white. Put that back in, and okay. So let's just put everything aside now. We're sort of okay. We're sort of okay on the second one now. So let's just secure the second one, and then we'll talk about the first one when we get there. So let's continue with our binding of the second one. So let's come in through our hole. So once again, see, I knew that was going to happen. It's right on the edge, and so it just, that's fine. I can take care of that with washi. So I just feel like we're not tight. So pull everything in tight. Okay. So at this stage, we release the washi. We put her up here because she's ready for the next signature. Okay, make sure everything is nice and flush. So once through, and then go under here. Okay, and you've got one on this side, one on this side, and you're straddling the inside. You can pull this out. Okay, and those two are a bit longer than the first one, but that's okay. So now let's release. It's bound in nicely. Bound in nicely. There and there. And how's it looking next to this guy? Lovely. You know, one thing I should have said, I forgot to show you. You need to, once we've made those holes, you need to go ahead and erase the light lines that we drew to figure out where our holes were going to be. So right now, I'm going to do that quickly on this side. I don't think I'll be able to catch it on this side. Oh, I might be able to. Yeah. And I don't know, am I going to be able to get it here from the middle? Oh, I can. See, never really a mistake. You can always make things work. Okie dokes, so that's 2 signatures done. I think this binding is going to be one entire video. Gonna be long. I do apologize. Just put me on 1.5. You know what that means, right? Okay, so I'm gonna try not to laugh so I don't sound like a chipmunk at 1.5. So here we go. This is our last one. Make sure my orientation is correct. Make sure this is signature number 1. I'm gonna go in. Gosh, where's my hole? Right there. My hole is there. Yeah, where are we caught? Here we go. All right, so we're gonna go, okay, so we're gonna go in through the hole here. Oh, it's perfect. Okay, and make sure we washi our tail. Gosh, these expressions are crazy, but you know what I mean. They make sense, right? Okay, so coming in through. Now, here's where we play with our buttons. Okay, cool. All right, so I forgot what I was going to do. Yellow. What are we going to do? Yellow, and then we were going to do I was going to do white at the top. I was going to do blue at the bottom. I don't need a red, do I? I don't need a red. 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 We can do it. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I am going to secure this this guy. So we're going to come in and through. And in. So be careful here. So pull your thread all the way down. Okay, so okay. So now this is going to be secure in place. Okay, so we're now going to come up here with our white one. Now with the white one, I want the white one to be secure in place. So I am going to do that here. When there's 4 holes, I don't like to leave the other, like I'd like to do a cross. So once you do that, that's pretty tight. Like you can't move it. So I will secure this in place at about this position. Okay, can you see what I'm doing? And then I'm going to go in through this hole. So it's going to be pretty much there. And this is all preference, of course. If you think it should be somewhere else, you go for that position. I'm just getting you started, and then you guys are going to do wonders, wonders. And I want you to please, please, please tag me and show me all the beautiful things that you make, because I'm going to be so happy. This makes me so happy, and when you tell me that this makes you happy, it makes me happy. And that's why we art. That's why we art. Okay, so remember how we fixed this in this position here. So we're not going to come in, we're not going to come up through that one. Okay, give yourself a little bit of slack here. It's too much. Okie dokes, that's good. So I'm gonna fix this guy here. And you do know there's like a flat side and a pretty side. So be careful with that. And then lastly, this guy goes right down here. So pretty. I like this blue guy. And as soon as I saw him in the box, I knew he was going to go with, it just matches the cover so beautifully. So I'm just going to make sure that everything here is lining up. Oh, look perfect. Perfect. Okay, here we go. Oh gosh, I love that spine. Those button spines are so beautiful. Okay, here we go. We're going to release our tail. And we're going to come around. Okay. So this original one, once you release it, it comes off to the side there. You're going to come around, then come around one more time so that the thread that's on the needle comes to the right. And once again, you're straddling, and you roll, bring over the longest one. Okay, and then there's always one that's longer than the other, which is okay. So we did it, you guys. We bound this golden book together with a button spine. How absolutely gorgeous is this? So excited. So when you open it up and have a look, that you've got your original gold foil spine. You've got the buttons, and the buttons all sort of match all the pretty colors on both. Oh, so beautiful. I'm so happy. I've just got this brilliant feeling of well-being just rushing through me at this very moment. Everything here is flush, everything here is flush, everything here is flush. When you open on the inside, you've got like this really pretty clean strip there. Your storybook starts there. Oh, it's so pretty. You've got, you know, you've got house paper. You've got pretty doggy paper, pretty girl paper, pretty butterfly and flowers. We've got snow. We've got snowmen. We've got stars. We've got fish and dogs. And starfish and waves and fish and waves and submarines. And lots of love. And that's it. That's our book done.